friends, it's Liv. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Thanks for checking out this video. Today we're going to be talking about the big U. UTIs? No. What? University. It's July. Why are we talking about university? Because for some godforsaken reason, it's back to school season on YouTube. I thought I'd just hop on the bandwagon and start my back to school YouTube videos now since everybody else seems to be doing it. I'm going to have a ton of back to school lookbooks and outfit ideas and how-tos and DIYs and all that fun stuff coming at you guys. But today we're going to be talking about what I learned in university. Not through my lectures and classes, that was all boring as hell, but what I learned through living in residence, making friends, eating the food, gaining that freshman 15. Honestly, somebody stop me, I hate myself. So before I start, I also want to say that this is totally my opinion and my experiences, so what I went through might be different than what you experienced. You might experience something totally different, something I hated might be something totally great for you, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, thank you for tuning in and checking out this video. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the social aspect of university. The thing about university is that there are tons of people around you from so many different places, and since nobody really knows each other yet, everybody is on their absolute best behavior. So everyone is super nice, super kind to you, but it's hard to tell who's being genuine and who just hasn't shown their true colors yet, if you know what I mean. There were people I met first year that I thought they were angels, and then a few months go by, turns out they're snakes. There definitely is more of an effort that goes into making friends in university than there was in, say, high school, where you're with these people, you know them your whole life, and now you have classes with them every day. In university, you sort of have to go out of your way to make the effort to talk to people and make friends and talk to people in your classes. So it definitely is harder to make friends in university, but it definitely is easier to feel lonely as well, so you might as well just try. Some good ways that I made friends were through talking to people in my classes, talking to friends of my friends, especially because I lived in residence, so I had friends on different floors than me, and I made friends with people on their floors through them. If there are Facebook groups or anything like that before you go into the school, I suggest joining those, talking to people in those, because that's actually how I met a lot of the people in my group of friends before I got there, which was really, really comforting for me. Residences also have floor events, which I'll get into later, but that's a good way to start talking to people on your floor and get to know people on your floor. And also, you can get a job, because that's what I did, and I made some friends through work, so that's an option for you. Obviously, if that's not something you feel like you can handle with school and work, then don't do that, but there are several other ways for you to go about making friends. Oh yeah, and don't worry about what you wear when you're trying to impress people, because everyone just looks like garbage, it's just a fact. Especially those 8 a.m. classes, those just really do something to you. Next, we're going to talk about classes and workload. When you're going into university, everybody tells you, it's normal for your average to drop about 10-15%, and let me tell you, that is very true. In high school, I had an average above 90, so you can imagine how bad it felt when I dropped about 15% to a 75 average to an 80 average. It was even hard for me to keep above 80, which is not like me at all. You only have 15 hours of class a week, but it's absolutely crucial that you spend more than 15 hours a week studying. Especially in university, a lot of the learning is self-directed, so you kind of have to be your own motivator and go out and do things on your own and study on your own and make this a habit for yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you. Sometimes you study and you still don't do well, and that's okay, because that happens a lot too. Failing exams and failing classes even are so much more common in university and college than they are in high school. Literally me, I had to take astronomy. I was this close to failing, and I just barely passed the final exam, so. The only complaint I have, the hardest part that you need to watch out for, is coming off of your orientation week. We call it O week, some schools call it their frosh week. It's basically just a huge week-long party where you're meeting people and having fun. That's another way to make friends, by the way. Make sure you participate in your frosh or your O week, because it's so much fun and it's so important in meeting people. But yeah, our classes started during O week, so it was really hard to get out of that party kind of mode and get back into school mode and learning. I honestly took a few zeros coming off O week, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But that's showbiz, baby. Our next topic is residence life, which I briefly touched on, but living in res was so much fun for me. I made friends with a lot of the girls on my floor, a lot of the girls on other floors. There are events that you can attend where you meet a bunch of people. And it's not stupid events either. It's fun things like face masks and tea parties and making flower pots and planting flowers in them and food nights. It's honestly so much fun. Despite being fun, it can also be a bit annoying. For example, there were girls across the hall from me who would party every single night. And I'm not against having fun. I'm glad that they had a good first year in their residence, and I'm glad that they were having fun during their first year. However, when you party in residence, it's important to remember that there are other people who can hear you coming in drunk at 4 a.m. every single night. Speaking of people who would get on my nerves, roommates can be a good thing or they can be a bad thing depending on how your personalities kind of go together. I don't really broadcast how I feel about my roommate, but let's just say she was one of those people that seemed genuine at first and turned around and stabbed me in the back, so that was a lot of fun. Regardless of whether or not you get along with your roommate, it's important to remember that you guys share a space and you should respect that and still keep it clean and nice and tidy. Still keep it clean and nice and tidy for them because I'm sure they'll appreciate it. I would have. There are also RAs or Dons on the floor, which is just an upper year student who is there to supervise and make sure that everyone's doing okay. This person has a ton of resources to help you guys out. They're there for you, to talk to you, to listen to you. They plan events for you guys, and honestly, my RA was just the sweetest girl ever. I love her to this day. Oh, and the food was good at my residence, at least. If you guys haven't seen my What I Eat in a Week video, you can check it out down below, and my dorm tour. But the food in my residence was actually really, really good. It is easy to get sick of it though. After about a month, I really did miss like a good home-cooked meal. I just wanted my mom to cook for me. But yeah, the food in residence can be very good. Although in some residences I know that my friends were in, it wasn't so good, so I think it's kind of just a luck of the draw kind of thing. Our next topic is parties. Partying with people you know is very, very important because partying with people you don't know can potentially be dangerous or just not be a good time. Although, don't get me wrong, it is a great way to make friends, partying with maybe your friends' friends, people you don't really know, but for me personally, I'm just not all about that. I like to stick with my group and people that I know because I have had very bad experiences partying around strangers in the past. It's also important if you go to a party or a bar or a club, don't leave your friends because just don't do it. That's just not cool. Not cool. And I feel like we are always warned about watching where your drinks come from, where your drugs come from. If you are into that, it's very, very important to know where the things that you're consuming come from because date rape is a very big issue, especially in university culture. You never know. It's so easy for someone to slip something into an open drink or to lace drugs with anything else, and it can potentially be very dangerous to you or your friends. So watch out for yourself, watch out for your friends, keep your drinks covered, you'll be gold. In terms of bars and clubs, they can be a lot of fun. We have a kind of a dance club bar kind of thing that we go to in London, and it is a lot of fun, although it is very expensive. If you get there early in the night around 10 or so, you can probably get in without paying cover. That's what I usually do. And then once everyone starts showing up, they start charging people cover. It's usually only $5 or $10 to get in, but the drinks are where they get you. Let me tell you something. There is no reason in the world that a shot this big should be costing me $5. Up next is the concept of being in a new city. You guys know that I moved to London all by myself. I had only been to London a handful of times before going, so I didn't really know anyone, didn't know where anything was. All I had was the university campus and the friends around me that I had made once I moved there. So yeah, being in a new city can be very exciting. There's so much to explore, there's so much to see and do, but it can also be very intimidating or feel very lonely, so it is important to make sure you have a good support system once you're moved there. And the final thing, I'm going to talk about a question everybody asks me when I come home from university. Is the freshman 15 real? That's the thing. It can be as real or as not real as you let it be. Stress eating, making unhealthy choices in the cafeteria, excessive drinking and partying, these are things that can all lead to the freshman 15. But if you make healthy choices and you don't drink as much and you exercise in the campus gym or your residence gym, you will keep that weight off, no problem. Honestly, I have friends who would complain about gaining way more than 15 pounds, and I have friends who wouldn't gain anything. So I think it totally depends on your body composition and the lifestyle that you choose to live once you move out. Be wary of residence food. It can be very, oh my god, there's a spider on my bed. It can be very, very easy. Ew. Residence food can be very, very easy to make unhealthier choices, so make sure that you stay with your healthy choices and just stay health conscious, honestly, and you'll keep that freshman 15 off. You'll only change as much as you let yourself change. That's a fact. That is all that I'm going to discuss in this video, an honest reflection on my first year at university. If you guys want me to talk about anything else, let me know in the comments below and I will make another video, a part 2, if you will, about everything else that I've learned that you guys have questions about. I'm going into my second year in September, so I'm sure there will be a ton more lessons for me to learn then. I will see you guys on Friday for Fashion Friday, and I'll actually put out a video this week because I didn't last week because I got lazy and forgot. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye!